早安啊，比斯比！我们昨天晚上就是住在这个小镇的民宿里面，是一个很有西部风味的小镇哦。旧的灰狗巴士，哇，你看都是复古车，哇，停一排，这边也有。
我们来到伊利街的比斯比鬼城啊，这边是一个1950年代一个复古的一个街哦，你看。 它虽然荒废了，可是还是保存得很好。
哇，这个小镇啊，大概就是吸引很多怀旧的美国人来这里看看这些古老的街道。比斯比的伊利街啊，很有趣哦。它在露天的铜矿啊，摧毁了大部分的住宅区之后啊，它的商业中心就陷入了困境。 但是伊利街并不冷清哦，有很多居民啊，还有志愿者啊，然后把这条街道修复，然后也保存成另外一个时代的真实的这一个呈现。其实参观比斯比的伊利街呀，也是一个很独特的怀旧之旅哦。你看这一切都保存得非常好，也就像是回到了过去。很多游客啊，就可以在这个街上体验大概1950年美国采矿小镇的一些生活。 哇，漫步在这个老街啊，真的是很平静安好的感觉。哇，这里就是修理哈雷机车的地方啊！哇哦，很漂亮的哈雷机车。
哇，这个加油棒更复古了，它那个油表还不是电子的哦，是那种指标式的。 超级复古的这个地方，哇！你看前面那一台巴士，就是以前旧时代的飞狗巴士，那个完整的保存下来了。
哇，看着真的是很古老的一台巴士哎，以前在电影才看得到的这种跨州的灰狗巴士，真的是很酷很酷。 我们现在来到以前的警察局啦！哇，你看它车顶上的那个扩音器，哇，这个警车真是太酷了！以前是福特的，你看这边这一台哦，这车真是保养得很好哎，好漂亮的车哦！以前的。 哇，卖饮料的没错，以前就是这一种一杯的，卖一杯的。你看这个就是弹孔，弹孔打的。我们来到薰衣草坑啦，这里啊是位于亚利桑那州比斯比的薰衣草露天矿坑，它这边出产的铜、金还有银矿哦。它大概是从1954年到1970年，它在这一段期间呢，生产了大概7500万吨的矿石。薰衣草坑啊，就是铜皇后矿的一部分。 它是由那个菲尔普斯道奇公司这个铜皇后分公司的经理啊 ，Harrison Lavender 啊，他发现露天矿啊，比这种以前传统的这种隧道式的采矿还要更经济，而且还更能够增加铜的产量。所以啊，这个露天矿啊，露天铜矿就是用它的名字来命名的哦。哇，你看下面 最底端就是铜的颜色的液体凝固起来的。哇，你看已经挖得这么深了。你看这样子一层一层、一层一层的往下挖。我们来到比斯比小镇啦。这个比斯比小镇啊，它位于亚利桑那州图森市附近，大概90英里的地方。它是位于罗兹山的山坡上哦。这边呢有一个铜皇后矿，这个是世界上最大的铜矿之一啊。由于这个铜皇后矿的快速增长啊，然后这一个比斯比小镇啊，就在1880年成立了。然后这个矿山啊，在1975年的关闭了之后，原本的矿工小镇啊，比斯比，然后就变成一个很受欢迎的旅游小镇哦。你看这边到处都是那个维多利亚风格，还有欧洲风格的古老建筑。然后现在啊，有咖啡厅，有很多商店、餐馆，还有艺术画廊。这个比斯比小镇啊，尤其是受到艺术家还有一些退休民众的欢迎哦。相当热闹的小镇呢，它虽然是旧的 Old 比斯比，但是相当的热闹啊。你看，它现在已经变成一个很繁荣的观光的城市。你看，有这么多很漂亮的那个画艺术品。这个邮局的牌子，哇，这个木牌子真的是好有历史哦。它是在亚利桑那的比斯比，1906年呢。啊，这边有一个 Copper Queens 铜皇后，1882年。
这边就是他们的那个铜矿博物馆。然后你看这边外面就会有摆设采铜矿的铁路车。哇，这个就是铜矿的原型，看起来很光滑、很冰。这边还有一颗，哇，这都是铜矿的原型呢，你看。后面这边也是一台采矿车。
我们到铜皇后矿啦，我们要在这边坐那个小火车进入矿坑。这个铜皇后矿啊，它是亚利桑那州最受欢迎的旅游景点之一哦。我们游客啊可以参观这个著名的矿山，然后可以深入到山的里面去，然后可以看到以前啊，就是老矿工们为了开采铜矿所付出的一些努力，还有他们的艰辛。这个铜皇后矿之旅啊，它是从1976年的2月1号正式营运的哦。那从那个时候啊，来自全美50几个州，还有30多个国家，有100多万个游客都曾经坐这个地下矿井之旅的列车进入到这个山里面。我们就是在这里报道的啊。那这边就有很多的矿石，这是白水晶。那这边就是各式各样，有紫色、绿色、红色跟黑色。要进入里面呢，我们要戴上安全帽，还有这些矿工的头灯，还要穿上安全背心，我们就可以准备踏入这个迷人的采矿世界啦。
Just a reminder, if you drop anything, do not reach for it. Steve will see it, he'll pick it up and bring it to you. Now when I ring that bell, the train's gonna move. Stay seated, do not try to get off, very bad idea. Please don't reach out for the rock or the timber. That's your tour, picture, video, anything you want, including me, doesn't bug me at all.
出发啦！
Use your lights in this section. You'll see all the soot built up along the limestone. That's from the fire site set in here. Now we're coming in on level 3 of the Queen Mine. We will stay on level 3 for the entire tour. There's 7 levels total, 4 above us and 2 below us. Each level is vertically engineered 100 feet apart. Now in those 7 levels, and in this mountain alone, there's 150 miles of underground track and tunnel. Just in this mountain. That'll get you from Bisbee all the way to Casa Grande, Arizona, halfway between Tucson and Phoenix. There's over 2,200 miles of underground track and tunnel beneath Bisbee. If you x-ray the city, it looks like a block of Swiss cheese. There's track and tunnel everywhere. Now, you see that red light way down there in front of that train? Just before we get to that red light, look to your left-hand side, and you'll see a part of the first shaft done here in Bisbee, the Queen Incline. Sank totally by hand and by candlelight. Starts 400 feet above us on the side of the mountain, and goes 200 feet below us on a 45-degree angle. I can't stop at the Queen, it's on a curve, but I'll slow down, let you look down in it, and we get a picture or video right here.
我们到这一个转换点啦，这边有36个台阶可以上去看看。
Welcome to the stope, S-T-O-P-E. Now a stope is just a term for an area that has been or is being mined out. The copper ore in here averaged 20% per ton. That is super high-grade copper ore. But keep in mind, this whole thing was solid rock at the time. Now I'll do a single man demonstration right here. One miner is going to hold that bit every time it's struck, quarter of a turn. The other miner is going to be right back here with this hammer, right into the end of the bit, struck, turn. And this is the rhythm for 8.5, 9 hours every single day by candlelight. Over 97 years of mining history here in Bisbee, the mines produced a little over 8 billion pounds of refined copper, 80 million ounces of silver, right at 3 million ounces of gold. We also mine lead, zinc, and magnesium here. Super profitable operation. This is azurite and malachite.
Wow.
And believe it or not, that is totally natural out of the ground. Nothing has been done to that.
然后我们到了其中的转换点啦，这个转乘点啊，我们可以下车，然后沿着这个300英尺的步行道路穿过隧道，那我们就可以在这条小路啊，就可以看到以前矿工他曾经走过的这个脚步。
Each mule had their own personal stall or stable. They were trained on the surface to pull 4 of these cars out at one time, fully loaded. This is what the mule got accustomed to. The sound of the slack in the chain for each car hooking up. You'll hear it 4 times. No, it has 4 cars. Automatically start pulling. Now, occasionally, the miners try to pull a fast one. We'll hook the mule up to 5 cars because he can't count, right? Oh, on the contrary, yes, he can. You're not going to make a rear end out of the mule. And the miners gave this a nasty nickname, the Widowmaker. You're in limestone, it's got silica in it. This air-only drill picks up all the dust and the silica particles. You inhale it and it sets up in your lungs. You eventually develop a lung disease called silicosis. It was killing gentlemen by the time they hit 40, hence the name Widowmaker right there. That's a 12-man cage. They'll put 12 of you on there at one time, pack you in there like sardines, and send you up or down at around 17 miles an hour. Not a fun ride. And he communicates with a hoist engineer. You're gonna take turns. Put your hand on that rope. Pull down as hard as you can right there. Yeah, go ahead. Come on, give it a shot. It's not gonna bite you, young lady. You're okay right there. Give it another shot. Hold down. All right. There you go.
Whoa!
There you go. You're ready for your new career path right there. Now, nobody else wants to get up here. I guess I will. Now, the predecessor to the Porta-John. It's used at sporting events. Came down here in 1916. The company called it a sanitary cart. I use quotations for a reason. It was anything but sanitary. They cleaned them out once a week. The stench from this thing, I could only imagine. The miners, they had more colorful names for this thing, like the honey car or the S car, of course. Maybe you get off shift one day with your partner, you go to Old Town Bisbee, the same restaurant, get a nasty case of food poisoning. You'll be up here the next day, holding hands, holding one of these numbers.
我们要回去啦，结束这一趟旅程。哇，我们回家啦！我们终于回家啦！